This is your land, Australia, far outpost of democracy and freedom in the South Pacific. This vast continent has built for its people one of the highest living standards in the world. Yet the people of the modern coastal cities, with every amenity, amusement and service, forget that this living standard may be denied to some by distance. Literally thousands of square miles of plain and scrub in the thinly populated areas of Queensland stand as a barrier to modern civilization. Where transport can go, transport is made to pierce this barrier with modern health services. But the resources of a small population are not enough to create the huge network needed. Then let us bring the younger generation from the outback to the coast for medical care and attention, declared a TOC-H group in Townsville some years ago. Maryborough developed the idea even further, and the late Sir Leslie Wilson, then Governor of Queensland, visualized the idea as statewide. Thus came into being the amazing hand of friendship from city to country, the Queensland Bush Children's Health Scheme. Leaflets, brochures, messages ask the Queensland people, can there be any better investment for the future than the welfare of the young? This work is not left to chance. A field superintendent personally ranges the far and remote backcountry, investigating, hearing case histories, checking where treatment and recuperation facilities are out of reach. The guiding principle, the health and well-being of these young Queenslanders, regardless of class, colour or creed. The pioneers of Queensland's huge outback may pioneer in the 20th century, but the marvels of modern science can be 1,000 miles away. The result, malnutrition through short supply of fresh foods, eye disease, perhaps fly-borne in the torrid dryness of western heat, orthopedic cases, ear, nose and throat infections, dental troubles. To the city dweller, just a call on the phone and 100 experts a mile or two away. These children from yet another remote and isolated area will know the benefits of recuperative treatment, plus the psychological uplift of new places, amazing new sights. Because this is a democracy, permission of parents is of prime importance. Lack of knowledge may cause initial mistrust, and this must be met and smoothed away. But spread as it is to the farthest corners of the state, the Bush Children's Health Scheme more and more reaches the hearts of outback parents who welcome this opportunity for their youngsters. Year in, year out, the quest goes on. A lonely job, traveling thousands of miles. Bad roads, even no roads, but the outback children are reached. And in their isolated outposts, the teachers, school health sisters, doctors and others give their reports on children needing assistance. Australia's famous Royal Flying Doctor Service lends a hand, not only in reporting on children, but in transporting the sick. This plane from Broken Hill lands specially at Hungerford to deliver youngsters to the railhead. Throughout the far west, half-closed, peering eyes tell the story of fly-borne infection. The precious eyesight of these children demands protection for the future of the state. The Bush Children's Health Scheme wages constant war against trachoma. By road, by rail, from the far-flung corners the children are gathered, and on the great journey to the coast and the amenities of the modern city. For most, their first visit to the city, but they're among friends from the Bush Children's Health Scheme and Talk H. Where the city dwellers meet the sunshine with clear, open eyes, these young faces strike a pathetic contrast. Without the care and attention that now will be theirs, complete blindness could be the ultimate result. But now, one more short journey to the sea, and the phase in their lives begins which has but one aim, their return to normal, happy, good health. Through the city's outer suburbs, and then the sea. Crossing the Hornibrook Highway, this is the very first sight of the ocean for most, but soon they'll know it well, for home, from now on, is the Leslie Wilson home at Redcliffe. Every day from the Leslie Wilson home, the children look out across the blue waters of Moreton Bay. No more ideal setting could be found to restore the morale and spirit of previously isolated youngsters. They're happily welcome. Matron is their friend. She knows their little problems and worries, their nervousness, and she knows what can be achieved. Here, even the most serious cases are provided for, with the finest treatment by leading city specialists. And back down the corridor where ill, unhappy, dispirited children entered, will return happy, laughing boys and girls, our richest asset. Watch that weight grow the very first week, just a preliminary health check. A visiting doctor will give the full examination later. Sleeping quarters, and the first view from the end window every morning, the sparkling blue of the sea. Children already in the home have plenty to tell newcomers, and so new friendships are formed. Rarities and even impossibilities in the far Outback become everyday items on the menu. Lunch, the balanced diet, milk, eggs, butter, fruit and salads, essential and enjoyed parts of the health program. Curing speech defects is almost like a novel game. But mouth shaping, breathing, sucking, all are exercises prescribed by speech therapists for breath control, word formation, clear enunciation, and the strengthening of palate and throat muscles. So these are games with a practical purpose and taken very seriously by the young patients. The skilled services of Dr. Mackenzie ensure competent examination, and the home's own sick bay is available for all minor illnesses. Where specialist attention is called for, the home's own bus ensures ready transport to the nearby city. Here, the finest medical facilities in the state are available, so that even seemingly hopeless cases have made remarkable recoveries. Sun, sand and sea, what better prescription for youngsters well enough to play games? Friends, and the important lesson for later in life of mixing naturally and easily in the free spirit of Australian democracy. Green lawns and blue water are a refreshing tonic for eyes seared by the heat and dust of the arid backcountry. Fun, games, the healthy activity and cooperation of communal sport all play their part in spiritual rebuilding, as modern medical science does its job of physical reconstruction. While many youngsters need longer, the minimum stay at the home is 6 weeks. Some are brought back to check the effectiveness of treatment. An average of 500 children pass through these homes annually. Ready to go home. These are the same children we saw earlier arriving by plane from Hungerford. They have gained in weight, eyes are better, they found an inward drive that was lacking before. The younger girl is not quite ready to leave and will stay for further treatment. For these youngsters, their first wonderful glimpse of the city as they wait in Brisbane for their train to the scheme's central home in Maryborough. But first, attention to those young appetites. TOC H headquarters supplies lunch. Now the children supply the lunch at Brisbane's Botanical Gardens. Just one of the many places in a whole new world for these kiddies, places to talk about back home and to build dreams on. Dreams of flowers and parklands for the girls, and for the boys, perhaps wide rivers and the thrill of a fast boat. But soon Brisbane will be behind, and they will join other children at Maryborough. From Queensland central and southwest, children are brought to Maryborough. As in the Brisbane home, children soon become acquainted through group games and exercises. The sea is close by at all Bush Children's Health Scheme homes. The Maryborough home is at Torquay and provides medical and dental attention for minor cases and recuperative change. And this is medicine all can enjoy. Paddling and swimming are all part of prescribed treatment. Young and unafraid, even kiddies who have never been to the coast before soon take to the water like ducks. But just in case, matron always stands by. A large part of every day seems just like playtime, but these team games, group routines, dances, even digging sandcastles provide exercise, demonstrate teamwork, and develop graceful movements. They form the basis of all recuperative work at the scheme's northern homes, while cases for specialised attention are taken to the Redcliffe home near Brisbane. In each home there is one ideal, the health and well-being of the state's future citizens. At Maryborough, Dr. Tyler, who conducts the medical examinations and arranges treatment, is chairman of the scheme. Throughout Queensland, doctors, dentists and other professional men and women give freely of their services in this work, and their enthusiasm and ready acceptance of the scheme have impressed the general public with its importance. Without doubt, the results achieved are due to the unstinting support of the medical and allied professions. Their reward? It is to see Queensland youngsters, once sick, listless, dispirited, returning home well again, happy with a new outlook on life and a new future. Here is Queensland's tropical north, as all Australia knows it, the familiar city of Townsville on the lush coastal strip, land of palm trees, sugarcane, and rich tropical fruits and flowers. But what of the other picture of the north, the huge area of the lonely, hot and arid far northwest? And here they are, the children from as far north as the ghost towns surrounding the Gulf of Carpentaria, as far west as Queensland's border with the Northern Territory. They travel thousands of miles, often using every form of transport, but they never travel alone. By plane, by train, by car, an experienced adult is their friend and companion, and their guide for new sights and new experiences. Long hours are given by Red Cross aides and many others for this important job. And so in the far north, under the bright tropic sun, the story is repeated, so that no part of the vast state of Queensland shall be overlooked. Medical histories are handed over, and here, by the sparkling waters of Rose Bay, the far northwestern youngsters meet their new friends, the matron and her helpers, and are introduced to what will be their happy home for several weeks. No longer isolation in the far outback, friends, games, and the watchful eye and careful attention of medical and dental specialists. Not only what is done for these children, but what is learned by them as part of an investment in the future. dazzling blue waters curl back as we head for the tropical paradise of famous Magnetic Island, a tonic and an adventure for these youngsters. These trips are just one of the many attractions provided by businessmen of the northern city. One of Magnetic Island's many tropical fruit crops, and every year growers donate a considerable amount of fruit to the home at Rose Bay. Yes, just picked, and all for you. The end of a wonderful day to dream on. And a dream tonight, no doubt, will picture romantic tropic isles and the blue waters of a Pacific lagoon. Just splashing in water can be fun, but it's even better fun to swim properly. At Townsville, youngsters have the use of the modern Tobruk baths, with experts to conduct weekly swimming lessons. Ready for the long journey back home. This group leaving the Townsville home shows amazing improvement after medical care, healthy exercise, and the plentiful good foods available at the coast. Sorry to leave, but happy at thoughts of family reunions and the tales to tell of their trip. A train leaves, tomorrow another will arrive. The work never ends of restoring these isolated young Queenslanders to sparkling health and happiness. As this vital work expands to embrace every part of Queensland's great outback, so the demand grows for increased facilities. Here are buildings being added in the north. Additions are needed for other centres, and new homes are planned to complete a network to cover every area. The voluntary workers for this scheme, who seek your financial support so that the work may expand, come from every walk of life. Chairman Mr. J.C. Arkell has worked unceasingly since the scheme's foundation. Public support has been excellent in helping provide and maintain the facilities already existing. But still more support is needed if every isolated Queensland youngster is to enjoy these benefits. Let me quote Mr. Arkell. The scenes you have just witnessed illustrate many phases of the work of the scheme, which is carried out regardless of caste or creed and helps children from all over the state. Please let our representatives or branches know of any children needing help. We will do our part. The scheme needs money, our expenditure being over £20,000 a year. Will you help by sending donations to the nearest Bush Children's branch or to headquarters in Brisbane? We are confident that all citizens of this state, men, women, and children alike, will find food for thought and much of general interest. We commend this scheme to you.